You know, when you come over to our website, folks, at TFNN, what you're going to see is that you're going to see the EverBank banner #1. If you happen to be in your car, just remember this website. It's everbank.com/TFNN. Now, as you come over there, what you're going to see is that you're going to see market-safe CDs, no risk, no reward, don't bet on it. Which is pretty cool, Andy, is that the way these are set up, you know, and this type of CD, folks, that we're talking about here goes like this. It's a 5-year CD. You have 0 principal deposited risk, which is, you know, almost unheard of. So 100% protection of your deposited principal. There's no monthly account fee. You're FDIC insured. You're IRA eligible. Now, the funding deadline for this, folks, is August 17th. This particular one, the way it works is that you get all of the upside, meaning you can get up to 40%. It's a beautiful thing. And we get our man, Mr. Chris Gaffney, right now. Now, Chris, folks, is the president of EverBank World Markets. Chris Gaffney, how you doing?
Hello?
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Just great, thanks. How are you doing today?
Great to talk with you. You know,
yep.
I got Andy here also, and we were talking to the audience. It's so cool, man. I guess there's always something happening in the marketplace, but, you know, last night you have the Chinese devalue their currency, right?
That was a big one, and really unexpected. I mean, they had been working hard on getting accepted into the SDR, and that hit, I think, the market by surprise.
No doubt. There's no doubt about that. You know, and what's intriguing about that, you know, we're talking about your 5-year market-safe power CD, and can you just tell the folks how that's put together? Because what's so intriguing is that, you know, gold, silver, you know, my take is that they've come off the bottom, okay? They've been down for a long period of time. They look like they're off the bottom. Copper is trying to get off that bottom. But when folks, you know, I guess the last thing that people think is that the Chinese are going to devalue, but bottom line, every time anyone devalues, metal is basically worth more money.
Well, yeah, and this CD combines those 3 metals, gold, silver, and copper, into a 5-year principal-protected CD that's FDIC insured against bank risk, but it basically will pay you at minimum the principal that you originally invest, and then if the average price of those 3 metals goes up over the 5 years, you're going to get paid the upside of those increases up to 45%. So it is capped out at 45%, but it's an averaging that occurs each year. We'll take the price of each of those metals, compare it to the original price, and then set that as a percentage. And then at the end of the 5 years, we'll average those percentages, and that's what the client's going to get at maturity. Great way to get exposure to these metals markets that, as you know, can be very volatile, and in a principal protected CD.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You know what's intriguing too, folks. Okay, as you're listening to this, you know what I realized, Chris, is that I was talking to, you know, just some of my friends, you know, over the weekend, you know, a couple weekends ago, with a cookout, right? And there's plenty of people that like CDs, period, okay? They don't like being in the marketplace. And I was just explaining, you know, how this thing works, and they're looking at me like, no, there's no way that there's something out here like this. And I says, listen, I understand, you know, but just go over there and look at it. And I can understand, at first it was like, no, this is real, but then I can understand why they think that, you know, hey, listen, I can't believe that I can get an upside like that and not lose any money.
Well, and really timing, as you've mentioned before. I mean, on this CD, I was just at a conference, a resource conference up in Vancouver.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago, and you know, everybody there was talking about how, you know, there's such value in the metals markets right now, and that especially with the amount of liquidity that's been pumped into these markets by the central banks that, while we're not seeing inflation yet, inflation was knocking at the door possibly, and that, the levels that we're seeing right now on the metals markets are going to be levels that in 5 years from now, or even a couple of years from now, people are going to be kicking themselves that they didn't get more money invested into these markets.
And what happens, folks, which is cool, is that if you happen to be watching Tiger TV, I'll put this chart up, and what you're going to see is that, they had one of these that was launched, I believe, in May of 2010, and, bottom line, gold had moved and moved nice. It moved from 1111, gets up to 1920, and then comes all the way back to 1181. And in that context, folks, that made money because of the fact of how each year, each year there's really like a new start, Chris, right? Is that how it would really work? Yeah.
Right, and the averaging actually worked in favor of that one, in that, we take and measure, and so you got the benefit of those early run-up of the metals, and then we're going to look back to the original pricing each year, each of those 5 years. So even if you start to see it peak and turn around and head back down, it's still positive versus that original pricing. So the key is the original pricing, and like you've been saying, and we're at pretty low prices in here on these metals. So
no doubt.
Timing-wise, I think it's good.
And
we had just a short period, though. We're at the final couple days on this market safe. The funding deadline is fast approaching. It's the 17th. So
that's right. So let's go over this a little. So, folks, the number you can call, the phone number you can call is 855-750-4051. It's 855-750-4051. The website is everbank.com/TFNN. The minimum amount is $1,500, okay? There's no maximum amount. If you're used to putting CDs, whether it's $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, you can do that. It also is IRA eligible.
That's a key.
Yeah, it really is. It's great when, no one wants to lose money, period, but losing money in your IRA is like you can't even write it off, right?
Right.
Which is a huge deal. So check it out, folks, okay? It's the 5-year Market Safe Power Metals CD. Chris, thank you so much. You have a great weekend, great week, safe week. We always enjoy having you on, and, I can't wait till the next time, and hopefully they're not devaluating the U.S. dollar.
Thanks again.
Okay, man. Have a great one. Have a safe one. And the website again, folks, everbank.com/TFNN. It's the 5-year Market Safe Power Metal CD. The phone number is 855-750-4051. And just to go over the deal, which is amazing, okay? Bottom line, it's $1,500 to open. You can open as much as you want. A 100% protection of your deposited principal. You can get up to 45% capped upside payment upon the CD maturity. FDIC insured, IRA eligible. You stay right there, folks. We're going to be coming right back. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. We're coming right back.